Hello and welcome to the iRacing Le Mans series live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick and today I'm joined alongside by Sam Kume and we'll be taking you through the action for this 1 hour long race at Monza. We are very pleased to be back on Apex Racing TV to be broadcasting this series, this time on a Friday night, and we should be bringing you many of the following weeks, hopefully to the end of the season. Certainly, I'm very excited about this, Sam. I imagine you are as well. It's awesome to see these incredibly high-performance cars once again back here at Monza.
Yeah, high-performance cars and high-performance drivers. I've been enjoying this series for past 2 weeks, and gotta say, these guys are much faster than me. Looking at these times, oh boy, 3 or 4 seconds faster. But yeah, it's great to be back with this series. Personally, for me, I'm still trying to remember, okay, which button did what with these overlays, but I think we'll get the hang of it over the course of this race.
Yes, absolutely. 3 minutes to go in qualifying, 8-minute qualifying in this series. Well, in all the iRacing official series, pretty much on the road side. You've also got 2 laps, which you can set times in. Just watching Josh Thompson and Apex Racing TV, a regular. It is safe to say, takes part in many of our series, so good to see him out there. I'm sure we'll see many other familiar drivers out there today. Of course, the LMP1, the HPD, and also the GTE cars, the Ferrari, the Ford, the Audi, and the, oh sorry, not the Audi, the BMW and the Porsche out there today, which is absolutely fantastic to see that wide array of cars. And yeah, we'll soon be able to take you through your grid. But fantastic place to start off our broadcast, Sam, around this circuit, because it is so slipstream concentrated. You're pretty much guaranteed a close race, because to be able to break the draft, you've really got to have quite a lot of speed over your opponent.
Yes, but to counteract those straights and slipstreaming, you also have these very narrow chicanes, and especially those very high curves. They can flip your car around, especially with the Porsche. I've tested that multiple times, so those are something that drivers need to be really careful about.
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to be going side by side through those corners by any means. Not too many drivers out on track now. There's a few HBDs, which I can see currently setting lap times. But the vast majority of LMP1s, you can imagine, of course, setting their times very quickly, because they can complete those 2-time laps in such a short amount of time. Andy Pers just lapping currently out there.
Yeah,
And,
trying to look at who do we have. I think all the LMPs have completed their laps, so yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Also,
much everyone has.
Yeah, front top 10 of the GTEs as well. We do still have the LMP2 leader Pascal Stix on outlap. He is currently on the pole, but this might be... Yeah, this is outlap, I believe.
Yes, they won't be able to improve, because, of course, in these official series, you've got to get in that second lap before the timer ticks down. It's not a case of kind of real-life motorsports or some other sim racing leagues where you can complete your lap time. You've got to get it done in that 8 minutes. Benjamin Gregory is not going to be doing that today. And yeah, he's currently lined up, I believe, in 8th position in the HBD class. Pascal Stix and Fraser Williamson still going out there at the moment. I believe Stix, of course, has completed or can't set another lap time. I think Williamson, well, he's not going to be able to, because here is the checkered flag. And well, that's the end of qualifying, and we're going to be able to take you through your grid. And we got a little bit of time as well, because of course you've got to do half a formation lap as well. And so, here at Monza, pole position goes to Harrison Finch in the LMP1 class. Alongside him is Matt Bauer with Fabian Van Doren in third, and Marco Roderman in fourth. And then rounding out the top 5 in that class is Dylan Mann. Look, good to see 15 LMP1s out there today. In fact, even more than that, 17 LMP1s. In fact, one of them is our good friend Joseph Ringrace, who still does a little bit of commentary for us. He'll be starting in 16th place. In the LMP2, very experienced driver in this class. We certainly remember this guy, Pascal Stix, and former championship winner, I believe, as well, just ahead of Fraser Williamson, who's also got plenty of experience in this car. Then it's Kevin van der Slik starting in third, with Calvin Forderont in 4th, and then it's Jamie Lee Myers in 5th place. And yeah, plenty of other LMP2s out there. And then top of the GTE drivers, Josh Thompson, 30th place overall, just ahead of Paul Kolich. Then it's Florian Dinard, Dimitrios Houdaloutis, Mikel Gade, and also Hugo Prieto in that GT field. Not quite as large as some of the GT fields we get. That's due to the fantastic participation that we got today in the two prototype classes, which have kind of shuffled those GTEs down a little bit. But Sam, just about to get going, or just about to get the formation lap running, and should be good fun. It's not a particularly long track, and so to fit in these 46 cars, it's can be quite difficult.
Yeah, it's gonna be really quick lap times with the LMP1s, but definitely this nice even split of 3 classes that we have, it's gonna be really good racing all across the 3 fields really. And I think traffic management is going to be really important, especially for the LMP1s, because you can lose so much time if you get stuck behind the GTE.
Yeah, absolutely. That could be a defining factor, definitely. The fact that you can maybe use a GT as a pick, or maybe you really squander your lead, which use those GTs, could be very difficult. And it's so good to see. It's ever so close in that in that LMP1 field, because I must confess that whenever we've broadcast this series in the past, it's always been a little bit disappointing because we've had a couple of dominating LMP1 cars. It's not quite been the same, but today it looks so close. The top 5, or the top 6 separated by half a second, should be ever so close in that class.
Yeah, I think like especially with the hybrid systems that you got with the LMP1s, it's gonna be really overtake City for the first 2 laps. Maybe a little bit calmer in the LMP2, but I mean GTEs, that's always gonna be a really hectic there, especially in the turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be interested to see how that battery deployment is going to be used. Of course, watch out for the P2s and the GTEs as well. It's fantastic to be broadcasting this series once again on Apex Racing TV. We're about to get underway here at Monza. The pace car pulls into that long pit lane, and away we go. Harrison Finch pulls away from the rest of the field. Matt Farah could be under a little bit of pressure from just behind, but Finch a long way ahead already. Doran's trying to go side by side going into turn 1. Are we going to see any instance? So many LMP1s going down into turn 1. And we have got a car on the inside, but fortunately I don't think he's going to get back on the circuit in a dangerous fashion. No, it's Rodderman just off the circuit, but he's gone back quite easily. Here in the LMP2s, and Pascal Stick's good start for him. Not too much change. Mike Owen, fantastic start from 7th up into 4th seemingly. And back in the GTEs, it's still Josh Thompson leading the way. You can see the BMWs almost colliding into one another into turn 1. They're all a little bit deep on the brakes, but again, so far, not too much carbon fibre being thrown up into the air. We got a little bit of side-by-side action, but very impressive from the majority of the drivers. Hugo Prieto, the big gainer there, 6th to 4th for him.
Yeah, very clean start from the GTEs, and for everyone else for that matter. Josh Thompson really had a good start there, was able to maintain the gap, and wasn't really under any pressure into turn 1. The OU gets a little bit sideways there, but there you see that those curves, they really throw you around. I think we have some action behind them, maybe a few drivers missing their chicane a little bit.
Yeah, Hugo Prieto after that fantastic start, just losing a couple of paces. Now maybe getting a slow down as through the Lesmos they go. And yeah, so Prieto back into his starting position, I believe. In fact, down 2 places, so he's lost 4 places since the first chicane. So really a terrible 3 corners for Hugo Prieto there. It's all starting to sort itself out up there. It's Harrison Finch leading Matt Farah out in the very lead of this race, as you can see. But Farah not letting him get too far away. Man just getting ahead of Van Doren just behind. A little bit of extra energy seemingly for Man, but he seemed to easily go past coming out of the push chicane. And now going past Van Doren is also Zuber. And that was a very simple move as well. So Van Doren really dropping back. Look how much time he's lost. He's lost 2 positions, and in fact it's a slowdown.
That must
penalty.
Be a slowdown.
Yeah, so I don't know where he's crossed the line there. It must have been turn 1.
Yeah, so just looking at the field, and it's all Audis, so it's not gonna be any different with the energy recovery systems and something like that.
You can see a little bit of a queue now forming. Certainly never seen as many LMP1s on a track as this. It would have been fantastic to see, but of course the hypercars coming in for next season. You wonder how long one of them will be on iRacing. Hopefully not too long. As here we go, a little bit more side by side. Mark Harrison now making a move on what's that
That's
on?
Rodeman, I
Sorry,
think.
yes.
And also Povilas Mikianas getting involved in the action.
Yeah, it's all about how much energy you're willing to use in this situation. And yeah, McConnus actually just dropping a little bit behind, might even lose another position here to Teknar. They are racing ever so impressively, barely any contact. Amongst these guys, as I say, that Schultz is on his roof, and that might be the end of his day.
We first broadcast this season with this race series and already commentator scores.
That's what we do.
Let's take a look back at the LMP2s. They are pretty close to the final last remaining LMP1s. Sticks and Williamson pretty close together. It's a 3 tenths only between them.
Yeah, Faye's a very experienced driver. A lot of experience also in endurance racing, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he's thinking about the fuel game here. I've got so much fuel you can save by doing this. And it's good to have a little bit of flexibility with strategy, because should you maybe be coming up to lapping some GTEs, for example, you've got to be willing to be able to maybe pit a little bit earlier. And Williamson maybe just opening up his options currently. You can see Ken Van Sleek following in their tracks, just trying to get a whiff of a slipstream, but he's just dropped a little bit too far behind now, 1.6 seconds. And he's really going to have to rely on those two to fight if he's going to be in with a chance. Williamson getting closer and closer, 2/10 of a second, but you can see no hint of an overtake at the moment.
Yeah, Sticks didn't get a really great run out there of the corner. Also, just looking at the map, we are getting close to where LMP1s will be entering that heavy GTE traffic. Also, we have one LMP1 in the pits, that is Klaus Dietrich Schulze.
Yeah, he was
He
the one
might
who
have
was
had an
involved in
issue
that
just
crash.
based on looking at the car. Yeah, you see some
Yeah,
damage on the front end.
Apologies, Klaus. I think that was my curse, which has severely damaged his car. After that incident, also Sir Hanaka, Sir Hanak, apologies, Matej, yeah, has unfortunately retired from the race. Lost some connection, I believe, but we've still got plenty of drivers still going in this race. Karalik then leading the GTEs, and remarkably, they've really pulled away. Him and Denard are now 3.5 seconds ahead of Hudaludis, whose name I absolutely love. Must be Greek, I assume, and well, Dimitros, apologies. Thank you for joining this series. He's just ahead of Josh Thompson. He's clearly had a bit of a poor start. Started on the front row of the grid. Started first, in fact, did Josh Thompson, and is now down in 4th position. So clearly something happening to him there, and he had a little bit of a slowish last lap as well. So clearly the Manx not having it all his own way.
Yeah, I believe he might have had a slowdown or some incident. At least here is something that happened, but no, that's just going slightly wide. But that's something has happened before that.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe something on the opening lap. In fact, it was on lap 2. He lost about 4 seconds, so maybe a mistake there for Josh Compton. But he struggled to really regain that pace ever since, and really isn't putting too much pressure on the drivers in front. If anything, coming under pressure from Andre Melchers, just behind him in that BMW. Not too much a wider range of cars. No Fords, unfortunately. Clearly the BAP not favouring that car too much, and also not too many Porsches out there as well. But you can see a couple of them. Good to see a few cars, and now we're getting a few Audis in the mix as well.
Yeah, well, Audi's but different class.
Yes.
So I was getting a little bit confused there. Like what?
Yes. I was getting confused by my own statement. But here comes Rodderman and glides past all these GTEs. This is one of the best tracks. We've got a spinner, and this could be big issues.
Oh.
And Rodderman is round, and well, we saw a driver's eye view of that one, or nose view of that one. That's Molnar
Oh, and
Pitter,
more
and
contact.
now more contacts with the LMP1. Joseph Ringrose, who was minding his own business in about 14th position. But, well, he's clearly got a lot of damage on that car now. And, yeah, how did that one all start? Really, car crash, quite literally.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where it actually
And now
started.
there's another crash as well with
Oh, really?
one of the Ferraris.
Yeah, let's just see what actually
check
happened here with Peter, because I think it started right here. No, that was just two good brakes on the LMP1 compared to GTE. And then more contact. But look at this here. We got Sticks and Williamson side by side. This might be the change for the lead here.
It sure is.
And it is.
Fraser
Yep.
Williamson. Car number 18, now the leader of the LMP2 field. And he will try to straight away make a break. He's already got 7/10 of a second, but running a little bit wide. These are such important corners, trying to break the draft. And Pascal Stakes now, certainly not the favourite for this race. He stayed with him about 7/10 of a second, and he'll try to just claw himself a little bit closer. Absolutely got to nail this guy. Gains about 1/10 of a second on the run down to us, guy. That's the slipstream effect for you. And Williamson trying to, yeah, very much acting as the hare now.
Let's take a quick look at the LMP1's. Pretty calm out here. Faro has opened about 1.5 second gap to Harrison Finch. Donna Mount there also about just under 2 second gap. It seems like the field is really spreading out after this GTE traffic came. And who do we have here next coming through? It's really only the last few LMP1s that still have to deal with this first time around. I think we will get this a few times.
Yes. Yeah, it's a 5.4 kilometer circuit, I want to say. I don't know why I'm guessing when I've literally got a tab which tells me. It is... Oh dear, I'm terrible at reading. We're not very wide. And Ringrose again off the circuit.
Well, just a moment ago we had some Ringrose fans on the chat asking for where he is. Well, there he is.
I think that was Aiden Campbell he was making contact with.
Yeah, maybe putting up a show for you guys.
Uh, 5.79 kilometers, by the way. I finally learnt how to read. And yeah, 5.79 kilometers. Don't ask me how much that is in miles. But yeah, so it's quite a long circuit, but of course these cars just lap around it so incredibly fast with the average speeds you get here at Monza with the amount of straights, and so plenty of lapping to do for these guys as Lukeson just gets a little bit held up behind one of the LMP1s, which is a lap down.
Yeah, that looks like it is Schultz.
Yes, yeah, it would be. Yep.
Yeah, he's our first driver who got involved in an incident and had to take a pit stop for the repairs. Oh, that is really close with the Ferrari.
Yeah, it can be pretty dangerous for the GTEs when you got drivers who have been involved in incidents already, and they really don't care what happens for the rest of the race. And sometimes they'll leave slightly smaller margins for error, and you can often get caught up in incidents through no faults of your own. that's part of the multi-class game, and part of the reason why so many just love this format of racing.
Yeah, and it's not just that like you stop caring, but once you've had incident, you don't really trust the car anymore, and
Yes.
it might do something unexpected when you are in heavy traffic, so it can be a little bit sketchy there. And soon we will have the LMP2s approaching the GTEs, but fortunately for them, the GTEs have had some time to spread out a little bit, and also they as well have been spread out, so I don't think there is huge packs here. Closest one here is with Calvin and Mike Owen. Mike just runs a little bit wide there.
Yeah, gained a few positions in their class. Owen up 4 places in his class, and Fordrunt up 2 places. Also, we got we had a change of the lead in the LMP1 class a while back. Matt Fry again past House and Finch. We didn't really mention it at the time, but well, yeah, Fry ahead of Finch now. That happened on about lap 33, so it was a while ago. But worth just updating you on that one.
Let's just take a look at this battle between Mate and Fonseca. Fonseca had a little bit of an off there, followed by Mate having a little bit of an off, so they are just kind of taking turns, but staying very close to each other.
Yeah, certainly mirroring one another at the moment. They're not too far. They're about 3 seconds behind Josh Thompson. He's actually started picking up his pace, to be fair, in the last few laps. Actually, Thompson was the fastest GTE driver on circuit, so seemingly coming back now. But well, he's already 5 seconds off his class leader. So not going fantastic for Josh Thompson as it stands. But yeah, concentrating on this battle against Konchenska. And yeah, Williamson still 1.2 seconds ahead of Sticks. Van Slick about maintaining that gap, but Owen closing in on Fordrunt. And of course, we're expecting the pit stops. Well, I'm not quite sure when we're expecting the pit stops, to be honest. I remember it used to be that the LMP1s could go about 45 minutes on fuel, the LMP2s about 40 minutes, and the GTEs about 45 minutes. That will be a couple of minutes shorter on this circuit just because of the high fuel consumption.
And again, battle for the lead. Oh, and that is a GTE right in front of them.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't about to recognize it because it's a Ford.
Yes. Oh, this could be in its own class out here, but Pascal Sticks won't care about that. He's back into the lead. Was 1.2 seconds behind, so something happened to Williamson. Maybe got held up behind a GT, and as we were talking about earlier on, that can often be a deciding factor. And now we've had another change of the lead in this P2 class, and Fraser Williamson is going to have to do all that good work again if he's going to retake the race lead.
Yeah, and also as you were saying about the pit stops, yeah, with the GTEs, at least with the Porsche and BMW, it's about 45 minutes that you can do with the full tank. But we'll see if some drivers will opt out to splitting it half. Because of course it is faster if you run the race with the lighter fuel, but then again you will then lose time on the pit stops.
Yes. Well, of course, also with the how the traffic works out, you kind of want to be pitting when you're approaching traffic, or when traffic is approaching you. It's quite a balancing act, and it's very difficult to do unless you kind of got a spotter kind of telling you where everything is around you, or maybe you got the broadcast live. That I'm sure would help drivers to know where they are on the circuit with our track map, of course. Of course, also STG Gaming. Oh, I see how I tied that in there. That would be a very helpful app if you wanted to go into the pits. That is available, I believe, in the in one of the links in the description, I believe.
Yes, it should be on the YouTube description. And I believe we have a new, or Pascal has a new website for it, which is much easier to navigate and find out how to get the software and how to use it. And it is the exact same that we are using here on the broadcasts.
Yeah, and it basically tells you when to pit, I believe, or it tells you where you'll come out. Basically, it calculates all that type of stuff, and so would be very helpful in this situation. Zuba
We had a
still
change of
under
lead.
pressure from Paulson, and oh wow, you just can't keep up. I've got whiplash from watching this battle. Here comes Fraser Williamson. If he's not careful, he's going to have something
Oh,
even
that
worse if he keeps on driving like this, because 3 wide, almost 4 wide for a moment, but Williamson back into the lead again.
that must have been a pretty scary moment for Williamson.
Sticks is going to try to come back straight away. No slipstream for Williamson. Sticks, which way we go? Inside, outside. Sticks to the inside. And he sticks it up the inside. Pascal into the lead once again. The 4th change of lead between these two. And I bet, dare I say, it will not be the last.
No, considering we've not even 20 minutes in, and how many times these guys have swap positions. Oh, that is Sticks. Oh, again, a little bit loose on the exit. Gripping the curb a bit too much.
Thompson.
I think that is also Kevin van der Slick wanted to join the action.
Yeah, he's done well to keep up.
Yeah, not only keep up, but looking at the lap times, I think he has been running much faster since these two guys have been battling and losing time.
Crucially just getting ahead of the BMW going into a sky there. And Kevin Van Stick actually not losing too much time. He's got to be careful that the BMW doesn't spear into him. And yeah, since those two have been fighting, certainly that's certainly Van Stick's probably only chance. I think he's even on pace with them. But certainly when traffic and fighting is involved, he can certainly hold a candle to them. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. 50 people watching, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, if you haven't already, do please like this video and also subscribe to our channel and like our Facebook page as well. We would certainly appreciate that. So not too much going on in the LMP1s currently, apart from that Zuba Paulson battle, but it has just sped out a little bit. You can see Paulson just getting held up a little bit by the BMW. And Zuba storming round Curva Grande. Still running in 4th position, but some 7 seconds off the podium places. Also, Tech now catching up to Scrivens. That's the battle for 6th and 7th.
Well, here's the action.
Ooh.
And these two LMP2s are battling for position, and I bet those LMP1s are battling for position, and maybe these GTEs as well.
Yes. Just the sun's struggling to find where they are. But yeah, Miles fighting Gomez currently with Ringrose only just ahead, but of course he's in the Audi, so maybe just passing those guys after getting caught up in a couple of incidents earlier on. Hopefully he's got that damage fixed. Of course, a lot of these guys were taking part in the Le Mans 24 Hours just 2 weeks ago. And well, compared to a 24-hour race, this probably is barely anything. But this is certainly much more frantic than what a 24-hour race with the track about a third the distance.
Yeah, that's really the difference there. That with Le Mans long race, you can kind of take it easy and just play the long game, but with this one, you basically have to be hot lapping every single lap.
Haven't seen too much of Ben Gregory so far, driving for TechSense Pitstone Motorsports, 34 car. And he's kind of just kept his nose clean, about 3 places up from his starting place. Sorry.
Yeah, has kept it really only like, I think that's one incident that he has gathered, and that's just off track.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And the check where it is pretty easy to pick up instance, particularly around this Lesmo's section. Trying to get past Josh Thompson now. And
Yeah, just got hold
yeah,
up a little bit.
yeah, just compromising his exit a little bit. Yeah, much of the battle's really separated. Actually, Thompson's pretty close to Hudalinas now. Yeah, so that's Hudalinas. That's
Oh, it's right here.
yes. Here we go. And Thompson, all of a sudden, driving much quicker. After really struggling in the early stages, he's still quite a bit far off the drivers ahead, 6 seconds behind Florian Dienard up in second place. But I'm sure a podium would be some comfort to him after a difficult start to this race. And he's really closing in on the car ahead now as we have the HPD just going past. The slipstream effect in these GTEs, not too OP, but you can see it's certainly making a difference. Thompson closing in that Ferrari. Is he going to go for the move? He looks to the inside of Hudalidas, and that is a very simple move. Dimitrios really not putting up too much of a fight there. And Josh Thompson up into the podium places now.
Yeah, it looked like Odalis maybe backed off under the brakes a little bit. But I think also with the Ferrari, it's my understanding that is that it is slightly faster car on the straight line compared to BMW.
Yeah, that's what I understand as well from the World GT series, which of course will be coming soon to Apex Racing TV once again. Hopefully, Thompson will be in that. He came second one season, a couple of seasons ago, season 5, I believe it was. Driver who's won plenty of races in that championship.
Do you know when it started again? I'm not exactly sure.
I'm commentating on it, so I ought to know, but I think it's about a month. Early August, I think.
Okay, well, not too long ago.
No.
Also, we have the Euro V8 starting soon, I think.
Yes,
in a few weeks' time.
next week.
Oh, it's next week already. Nice.
Yeah. Me and Mark are actually going to do a season review thing tomorrow. I don't know anyone who doesn't know really, who doesn't follow the UOVA. It probably won't be the most enjoyable thing to you, but you know, the one or two of you who might be out there, certainly do inquire about it. And of course, if you want to take part in some fantastic V8 supercars action, certainly do check out their website, v8efc.com. Pete Berger trying to get past
I think that's burger.
Burger, sorry.
Yeah, not the fast food, but burger.
No. Well, I'm struggling a little bit with the driver who's just ahead of him.
Oh, I'm not even gonna try. He would be mad. I'm terrible at pronouncing. I just call him Nicholas.
Nicholas, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel as though my pronunciation has improved over the last 2 years. But, well, still not perfection, it is safe to say. These guys are 7 seconds off Hugo Pitt. He's actually pretty close to Sminek now. Only half a second separates those two. It's just a few kind of pairings out there. It's not exactly the massive packs that maybe we really want, really crave in this series, but still pretty interesting, and we can really give some attention to these battles, which is very good. Car number 40, that's in car number 8. Sminek is actually up 10 places overall. I think that's about 4 places up in his class as well, so very nice start there.
Yeah, very nice. It's been clean. I see no incidents for him so far. Oh, that is... Again, you kind of have to keep constantly watching the mirrors. You saw that he was starting to move over, didn't notice there was LMP2 coming LMP1 coming fast, but was able to just move out of the way.
Yeah,
also one of the few Porsches.
Yes. You can certainly hear it though, can't you?
Yeah, you will definitely notice it when you close by.
Yeah, compared to the Audi, which has just gone past. Absolute silence. Unfortunately, I never... Oh, that could be issues. And contact between those two cars, and now going through is Hugo Prieto. And going to be a slowdown as well for his rival. So getting involved with a contact with the LMP1 car there, and Smine's neck drops back.
Yeah, well, fortunately for him, the GTEs are pretty durable, so I think the LMP1 took the biggest penalty from that contact. I think we also had some issue for the Burger. He's straight on the chicane, and there's something happened before that as well. Is this a contact under braking?
He's lost a lot of time as Berger, I think.
Oh. Yeah, just too close under braking. I believe that was 2 or 3 positions.
Yeah, and it could really cost him because around this Monza circuit, probably the one which you don't want to pick damage up around, because those straights are ever so long, just a little bit of extra drag, and it can absolutely destroy your lap times. So Berger will have a difficult way back now. Here is Kevin van der Slick then. Still third place. Second place.
No, he's second place.
To Williamson. So Williamson was
dropping
leading,
down.
and now he's really lost a lot of time. He's only just ahead of Fordant, and all of a sudden this HPD battle. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Ever so close.
I'm looking at the times, and it seems like Williamson might have had a small off track. And possibly slow down.
Yeah, he lost 4 seconds on the last lap. Doesn't seem to have too much damage. He's not a sitting duck down the straight, so I don't think he's hit anything. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Maybe a slowdown costing him there. Very tentative P1 on the brakes, and Williamson is going to lose out from it, and kind of nudging his rival round, telling him to hurry up, because well, he's lost a chance at maybe a win. He doesn't want to lose a chance at podium.
Calvin closing in under the braking a little bit, but just wasn't close enough to make a move. Mike Owen also doing a good job keeping up here. I think this is really the main battle that is happening on the LMP2s right now. This is for the P2. So.
Also got Myers versus Garzon out there. But yeah, that's certainly the best battle currently. The battles for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Garzon actually just losing a little bit of time through the second chicane. Denard and Kowalik quite close again. On that last lap, Denard was 0.4 of a second faster than the race leader. And after dropping Josh Thompson earlier on, along with Houdeludis, he hasn't actually dropped too far behind Thompson, but just edging back a little bit, a few tenths of a second a lap slower. But Kowalik all of a sudden coming under a little bit more pressure now from his rival. And if Denard can just do one extra lap on fuel, Sam, he could be a danger, because just a little bit less fuel than your rival around this circuit in particular, that's just a net kind of 0.3 of a second down these straights, because that extra weight can really cost you.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you every time you accelerate out of these slow chicanes. But Kowalik, his lap times have not been amazing. I mean, he was slower than both Denard and Josh Thompson last time by, and Houdeludis was able to match his lap time of 1:15.04. So we'll see if it's just single incident, or is he saving fuel, or just are there something going on with his tires.
Is there any appetite for Denard to make the move? Seemingly not, of course, in these GTE cars. Well, I certainly know it's the case in the Ferrari and the Ford. There's 12 different engine modes. You've also got the boost as well. but I certainly know the engine modes. There's 12 different types, and so when you're driving down the straights, if you're closing in on someone but you don't feel like overtaking them, you can kind of just switch it down a little bit, turn the engine power down, save a little bit of fuel. Alternative to lifting and coasting, maybe a little bit more efficient. I think maybe that's
Uh,
what Denard is currently doing.
yeah, well, funny enough, it's actually the lifting and coasting that is way more effective than the engine
Oh, is
modes.
it? Okay.
Yeah, you
Right.
definitely want to keep the engine modes at full and then just lift off before the braking, and that will kind of roll you into corners, and if you're following someone, you need to lift off anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. So if Denard is using the engine modes, then he's clearly doing it wrong. But
Well, I mean,
well, it may work out for him
Denard could be
either way.
lifting, yeah,
He
he
could
could be
be lifting
lifting into
halfway down,
corners,
yeah.
yeah.
Just looking at Kalec, it's number 16 in this race, so he's the 16th highest I-rated driver in this race, against Denard, who's second, and Thompson, who's third. So clearly quite a difference. And very impressed that he's being able to hold on to this lead at the moment.
But he does have some fans in the YouTube chat, so they are cheering him
Does it?
on. Yeah.
I love driver fan clubs, absolutely. So yeah, thanks a lot. Farrow is a long way ahead of Harrison Finch, by the way. Earlier on, the last time I checked, it was about 1 second, so it's now up to 9 seconds. The difference between Farrow and Finch.
And also difference between Finch and Man. And basically difference
Yeah,
between every one of them. Except maybe Zuba and Paulson, they are close by, but that's still 7 tenths, so that's close, but I don't think that's gonna be a huge pressure for Zuba just yet.
yeah, that gap's just been maintained for the entire race, hasn't it, really? Also, Scriven's only just behind. 2.5 seconds behind. Plenty of these kind of battles where you got Joe's a second to 2 seconds behind, but they're not really going side by side. All the drives are just so good in this top split that they can just set such consistent times. And so rather than kind of overlapping a mistake, maybe bringing another driver in, they're just absolutely pure consistency within a tenth of a second of one another. And everything kind of just maintains for a while. But I'm sure during the pit stops, this race could really liven up.
And here, just as I was saying that Zuba is not under pressure, you could see him using the energy as a defensive mechanism there, get away on the straight and not allowing Paulson to get any kind of draft or chance into the cross chicane.
Must be quite a tough track this with the energy recovery, because you do have plenty of big stops, of course, but then at the same time, you desperately need that extra power as well. So yeah, you got to be very sparing with it. It's not like other circuits maybe where you can be a little bit more liberal with the application. By the way, the in-sim time is 8:30, which actually is it isn't too far away from British summertime, only 20 minutes off, and about 40 minutes off GMT. So quite appropriate.
And we have the first pit stops for the leaders.
Ah.
Well, leading pack, that's Finch and Man. Farrow staying out, and also Pascal Stix and the other leading group of the LMP2s has come in. And that is side by side between Stix and is that Finch? No, Dylan. Who is that? Oh, it's Ringrose.
Ah.
Identified by the paint shop.
Can cross this line about halfway down. But those two drivers are not risking it. Probably the wise thing to do, certainly for Pascal Stix. So, he's got a comfortable lead out in front. And I think everyone else pitted actually in the LMP2 field. Yeah, everyone pitted, I think, within about a lap of one another. Yeah, pretty much everyone on lap 22. Fordance pitted on lap 20, Williamson on lap 21. not worked out for Williamson though. He was running in the lead, remember. He's now down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That's
6th
sixth. Yeah.
place. Yeah.
And the one big winner out of that pit stop cycle was Mike Owen. He was 9 seconds faster than everyone else.
Jeez.
Hold on, we might have some action, something happening here. Oh no, is this a contact between guys coming out of the pits? No, no. Oh, yes, that's... No. Fresh pit stop and now it's already ruined for him. That was Pierrot. I think it was... Not exactly who was the Ferrari there in. It's Denard, I think, was close, and... yeah, it was Kovalik.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was the leaders of GTE class.
Yeah, so quite a sudden change there in the battle for the GTE lead. Karlik now 3 seconds ahead of Denard. And all of a sudden, Josh Thompson's actually in that battle again. He gains 5 seconds on the top 2. And you can see him in the background, flashing his lights. Trying to
You can
close
also
in
see,
on these drivers.
Yeah, you can also see they're not losing time on the straights. So that damage seems to be hurting him quite badly.
Well, they're going to be coming into the pits very soon. They'll be... in fact, I don't think they'll be able to get any optional repairs done. I think you have to change tyres in order to get any optional repairs done. I don't think any other work can be done whilst the car is refueling. So, yeah, potentially very difficult now for Karlik and Denard. Particularly for Denard. Not really any fault of his own there. He got caught up in that.
Yeah, let's just check the sector times. Because of course the last lap by, it wasn't really representative of their times. So that is 35.3 for Kovalik, 35.4 I believe for Denard. Let's see, where is Josh Thompson? That is 4 tenths faster for Thompson than Denard in one sector alone. So at this pace, Thompson will be catching up to Denard really quickly.
Yeah, so they could be sitting ducks. Certainly, Karlik will be hoping that Denard can kind of hold back Thompson for a couple of laps, maybe. Gives him a little bit of a breather. But we could be in for some finale here with 20 minutes to go here at Monza. All the LMP1s have... In fact, no. I was about to say all the LMP1s have made their pit stops. But Farrow is trying to prove me right here now. Because he's in. Also, Paulson and Mitronis are yet to come into the pits. Juano.
They should be coming in this time by, I believe.
Yeah, they've already stretched it long enough. Man got ahead of Finch. So that wasn't during the pit stops. I'm pretty sure Finch was ahead coming out of the pits. So nice job there from Dylan Mann. A long-time driver in this car. He's really stuck with it. And I must say, today, by far his most impressive performance that I've seen. I think he also listens to the broadcast. So, well, if he now crashes, then that would be some commentator's curse, undoubtedly. But well done to him. He's currently running in 2nd place as all the pit stops unfold.
Sorry, I'm just checking something. Okay, it's Ringrose, Finch, and Dalman. They all have the same paint job. That's not confusing at all. Also, Frankenstein, thank you for subscribing. Hopefully you'll stick around. We will have more racing coming in by the weekend, I believe, and next week as well. And we should be able to broadcast this spot of iRacing Le Mans Series next week as well. We might have a different crew, but we should be able to bring it to you anyways.
Yeah, maybe some of the drivers will start a petition to get us off the broadcasts. Might have Brian Walker next week. And, well, if it's me and him with the names, then, well, we really are going to be causing some issues, I'm sure. Next week we are at Interlagos, then Nürburgring, Daytona, Spa, Road America, and then the new Silverstone, which will be absolutely fantastic. And then also Sebring, Le Mans, Kota, and Road Atlanta. Another fantastic schedule from the ILMS guys. Always a good schedule. Maybe I'd like a few more kind of variance tracks because usually about 9 of the 12 tracks kind of just maintain every season. But I'm not going to complain too much. They're still fantastic circuits that we visit.
Yeah, the new Silverstone will be interesting. I haven't even bought it yet, but it's gonna be a bit of a learning curve for everyone, I think. Because everyone is so used to the old Silverstone right now.
Yeah. I've been learning the national and the international circuits actually as Man going past, Finch going past Man here. This is very close, going into the chicane. These two are teammates, we believe, and moving ahead is Harrison Finch. So he now takes back that second place. The driver who started on pole position, and he's back in the top 2. Zuber, very close to Poulsen. They are side by side. Is the HPD going to play a part in this one? They're going to be side by side going into the chicane. Zuber does the right thing, but he's lost that position, I believe, for the first time in this race. They've been glued to one another for the entire race. And finally, it is Poulsen who gets ahead. Only 2 seconds ahead of Scrivens still. Scrivens just, waving in the background. Very much spoiling their photo. You can see he's desperately trying to keep up, and if they keep on fighting, we might have a fantastic battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, the GDE field has calmed down a little bit right now. Denard, his pace seems to be... Did he have a pit stop? Because his first sector lap time is pretty poor. Also something happened with Joseph here. Just a quick look, I think that might be just going a bit too fast into the turn 1. Yeah, runs wide.
Now, does he take the honest...
Oh, he takes the cone.
Well, I'm not going to criticize Jay here, but if you're going to do the escape road, you may as well do it right. Is all I'm saying. He's absolutely obliterated that polystyrene.
Yeah, I think yesterday on one of the races I had the cone stuck inside somewhere. I just couldn't brake at all.
Oh, that's the worst thing.
Yeah, I can tell you it's pretty exciting when you go into turn 1 and suddenly just slightly press the brake and your right front locks up.
Has Zuber got back ahead?
Yes.
He has. So Zuber desperately wants to keep this one. Poulsen, well, he may as well be on top of Zuber at the moment. Now he uses some energy and pulls alongside, pulls ahead. But here comes Zuber.
Yeah, is that enough?
Back into the parabolica.
Yeah, but now I think Zuber has the advantage with the energy. Unless he has spent it on the first overtake.
You might be right. A little bit of Hacken and Schumacher there. Here comes Zuber again. As soon as he got a little bit of extra power as he came across the start-finish line, he straight away used it. And Peter Zuber back up into 4th place. Yeah, this is turning into a bit of a chess match. It's all about how you deploy that energy. And, well, seemingly Zuber is desperate to stay ahead of Poulsen.
But he is not able to run away. Oh!
Ooh, maybe
just
now.
As I would say it, yes. Poulsen just runs a little bit too deep there. I think something also happened in LMP2s with Mike Owen, because he just dropped back quite significantly.
He was under pressure from Kevin van der Slick.
Yeah, but Kevin is right now 2nd and Owen is 4th. Yeah, that was just spinning the turn 1. No damage, but a lot of time lost. Meanwhile, this battle between Slick and Ardent. Let's say it like that.
Ardent. I've been saying Fordant. My idea is just to skip half the letters, and maybe that'll work.
I mean,
Anyway.
that's the English way, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Here comes here comes Calvin into the Parabolica. Apologies to you to anyone. But yeah, here, and now going back side by side. Van Slick not giving up here. Driver for Racecraft Esports, I believe. And he's going to try to get back that second place using some racecraft of his own. Down the inside into turn 1 this lap, 30 of the race. And that was a nice defensive move there from Kevin Van Slick. I say defensive move, it was a re-overtake. And he wants to maintain that second place to the end. We've got 10 minutes to go. A little bit more than that, actually, 11.5 minutes to go in this race. And it's going to be tough for Kevin Van Slick to hold on to this one to the end. Fordant is very close. And Owen and Williamson only 5 seconds behind. So if they do make a bit of contact, then they could be in big trouble.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin might be faster out of the corners, but again, runs a little bit wide there, maybe just feeling the pressure. Again, clipping the grass on the entry. And you really don't want to do that too many times, because it can catch you. Now they also have LMP1 coming through.
Yeah, we could be in for a fantastic finish to the GTE lead battle, because Josh Thompson's just got past Florian Denard. He's currently 0.3 of a second ahead of Denard. He was at one point 9 seconds off the lead, was Josh Thompson. But ever since that damage that Karlik and Denard picks up, Thompson has been absolutely racing those two down. He's caught one, he's passed one. Now he's got to catch another one and pass another one. 3 seconds to gain on that last lap. He was 0.7 of a second faster. He's got time to do it, and Powell Karlik will be under big pressure now. He really cannot make any mistakes from the number 16 cut if he's going to take home this race victory.
But good thing for Kovalik is that GTEs, they don't have any kind of push to pass, so he can still defend. Unlike with the battle we saw between Zuba and Paulsen, it's kind of constantly swapping over the positions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Karlik maybe getting a little bit fortunate with the traffic there.
Yeah, not much different last time by in the lap times.
So he's doing enough to hang on to this one, trying to get as much slipstream as possible. Could also be good for Denard here. He might be able to stay in the slipstream of Thompson, might actually follow Thompson, but you can see actually, if anything, already dropping back that damage for Denard, which had nothing to do with him. It was contact from the 2 cars in front of him, and one speared into his nose, and since then he really has been struggling for pace. Ludus actually only 6 seconds behind himself now, and remember, he was about 12 seconds off the lead as well. Episodes in the BMWs very well out there.
Yeah, those contacts, and that's just the reality of multi-class racing, really. I mean, I think that's also part of the attraction, because you can gain a lot of positions just by being patient and keeping it clean. But then again, of course, it can bite you as well.
Yeah, definitely. Here comes... oh, wow.
What's happening here?
Slowdown.
Yeah, that's Denard going past Thompson. Just Thompson, so... One moment Thompson was going to attack Kovalik, but now he is having to do it all over again with Denard.
Yeah, so... seemingly a mistake for Josh Thompson. Made a couple of mistakes early on, I believe. I still don't quite know what happened to Thompson at the start. Remember, got pole position. Led into turn 1, I believe, but quickly lost it, fell down into 4th position, and ever since then has been recovering for about 40 minutes now. He's just been trying to make back that time, but you can see he's quite a long way behind Denard all of a sudden, and any wishes of a win are now 5 seconds up the road, so that does not look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, he can still get the P2 at least. And look at Denard has been able to pick up some pace. So I don't know, maybe it was just momentarily or he's gotten used to the damage, whatever it was.
Once again, thank you for everyone who's tuned in for this race, especially thanks to Franklin Stone, who's just subscribed. And of course, if anyone else is watching this,
Oh, we have a big one.
Andy Pers, who was in quite an interesting battle.
Yeah, that was Bearsberger, Tech now,
Yeah.
and I think Gilles Pirard maybe as well. So this is Pierce versus Berger. Berger in the pink car. Pierce spins, catches Berger, and that's also Ferrari coming through, and that's the LMP1. Everyone able to continue, but that was a lot of damage for just one corner. Meanwhile, in the LMP2, this battle here for position 2, and it's getting really close.
Ooh.
Too close.
Ooh.
I don't think Ferdent will be too happy about that move.
No, I didn't realise I was actually going on live. So, yeah, big change there. And it means that Owen is up into 3rd position now. This is what happened. Van der Slick. Well, I'm hesitant to make judgments, but it's pretty clear, I think, is that one. Kevin Van der Slick, by the way, usually a very good judgment. I'm sure that was just a pure mistake, but it clearly didn't feel as though you could go for the move into the second SMSOV, just misjudged it quite a bit. Yeah, so it means that Mike Owen, who was in an incident earlier on, now back up into 3rd place. Only 1.3 seconds behind Van der Slick, so might even have a chance at claiming a 2nd place. Fraudent in 4th, just ahead of Williamson, who remains in 5th after that really slow pit stop.
Yeah, we had a few guys in the pits, but that's just from the aftermath of the Berger incident. That's Pers in the pits right now, and it might be race over for him.
So
let's take a look at the LMP1s as well.
Yeah, haven't lost too many of these LMP1s. We started off with 17, and currently the top 15 are LMP1s. So pretty much 15 still running relatively smoothly. Of course, Joe Ringrose hasn't exactly had a smooth race, but he is still ahead of all the LMP2s. Yeah, so Matt Barrett still leading the way ahead of Harrison Finch and Dylan Mann. That seems to all be quite settled. Paulson ahead of Scrivens. So Paulson was fighting with Zuber earlier on, but has fallen off Zuber. Now Scrivens are closing to within a second. That's the battle for 5th and 6th. And we've also got Mitunis versus Lupson. You see Lupson now only 0.3 of a second behind. This particular battle, I think, has been brewing all race long, but finally, at the climax of this event, we might just see it really take place. Lupson trying to get a nice exit here, and you can see he's going to have a decent chance if he's willing to use a little bit more power. He's going to go 3 wide here onto the grass. And that was a nice move there from Nathaniel Luxon. Had to really trust the HBD there. And you can see he's lost barely any time from that and is well in striking distance of the driver currently running in 7th place.
Yeah, closing in here, and if he is able to just stay with him in here, should be able to make the move into turn 1, but I think we've seen it multiple times so far this evening that even if you get side by side into turn 1, it's not gonna be a guaranteed overtake there.
Can we go to the outside?
The outside, yeah, that's interesting. And there's a Ferrari on the outside, so I don't know how this is going to go out.
Lupson going all the way round, but backs out of it. But his rival just a little bit wide, giving each other plenty of space. And well, if either of them were a little bit more, had a little bit more conviction there, they could have got ahead. I admit, if either of them had more conviction, they could have easily made contact there. So nice driving from the pair of them. And well, this one's certainly not over. Kutunas just ahead in the 305 car. No move into the Lesmo. That would be one of the worst corners to attempt an overtake. This is the, well, actually a Vega. We might just have to draw our eyes away from this one because Van der Slik, Fraudent, and Owen is really getting interesting now. Also getting involved with the traffic. And Fraudent, who hasn't had a particularly impactful race so far today. He might come away with a second place, which would be quite remarkable. Only 0.6 of a second for him to catch up to Van der Slik.
I mean, he had a small impact from Van der Slik, I think. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty clean otherwise.
Oh yes, sorry, I was getting confused between him and Owen. Apologies. Yeah, so Fraudent then desperately wants to get past Van der Slik, doesn't he? Seeing that he was tipped around just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, Owen also had a few impacts there. And Van der Slik getting really impatient in this traffic. Because I think he knows that the two guys behind him will be just doing what they can to get by. I mean, of course, cleanly, but they won't be just playing it too cautiously. And here comes Ferdinand on the inside and really squeezing there. And that... there was really no space left.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a
I
little
would
bit
say 50-50.
Yeah. As well.
But
Owen
here comes Mike Owen,
gets ahead. And almost sliding. Yeah, you see an LMP2 slide like that, almost all the way around the Parabolica. He's going to have a poor run, but can now get back into the slipstream perhaps and try to get back the move. Drops into third position. Can he retaliate though? Fraudent versus Owen. To the inside goes Mike Owen. But he's going to wait a little bit longer. Have we reached the checkered flag?
Let's see.
2 seconds away. Where's the race leader? We've still got half a lap to go.
Halfway
so those
through,
LMP2s will now be on their last lap, won't they?
But let's go back to this battle here. I think this is the closest one we have right now.
Ooh, that might just be it. Owen with a big tank slapper, maybe overheating those tyres. And 1 second now between second and third. Fraudent. Maybe a little bit of justice being served between himself and Van der Slik. But either way, it's not going to change the results because no stewards in this series as Matt Farrow approaches the line. He's going to win the LMP1 field and the overall class victory at Monza. Domination from him. 12 seconds clear of the rest of the field. Harrison Finch is going to be in second place, only just ahead of Dylan Mann in the end. And where is our next class leader? Pascal Stix has just crossed the line and he wins the LMP2 field. It was all going on behind him. Was involved in a nice battle earlier on with Fraser Williamson, but after Williamson had issues, it was very simple for him. And in the GTEs, Kowalik is still going out there. So, he's fantastic. He's got half a lap to bathe in his glory. Well, he can't bathe too heavily because he's got Florian Dinar. Still 83 seconds behind. We haven't paid too much attention to this lead battle in the second half of the race. It's kind of just been about 3 seconds all the way through. They've really kept each other honest. An hour of absolute flat-out racing between these two. And whilst it hasn't necessarily been a lots of wheel-to-wheel action, it certainly has been very intense between these two drivers. These two are the only drivers who are still going, by the way, in the GTE field. Huda Ludis will get third place with Thompson in fourth and Melchers in fifth. But Paul Karlik, who started on pole... No, he didn't start on pole position, apologies. He started in second place behind Thompson. Dinard started in third. But for pretty much the entire race, these two have been the dominating forces out in the lead, and Paul Kolik will now approach the line, and he wins in the GTE class at Monza. So, that is all the drivers across the line, and we can take you through your final results. And it's Matt Ferry winning by 13.5 seconds ahead of Harrison Finch. Dylan Mann, quite a distant third place in the end, but still solid performance from those top three. Zuber and Paulson had a pulsating battle all the way through. Zuber getting the better of him. Scrivens was always there or thereabouts, ends up in 6th place with McCornus in 7th. Cyril Deforge was in 8th place with Nathaniel Lupson in 9th, and there's Linus Technow behind that was 1 lap down. Mark Harrison, Marco Roderman, Juano Gia, Klaus Dietrich Schultz, Joseph Ringrose, and then the retirees in that class were Molnar, Peter, and Fabian Van Doren. In the LMP2s, Pascal Stix won by about 10 seconds over Calvin Fraudent. Then it was Mike Owen rounding out the podium. Behind that was Kim van der Slick, Benjamin Gregory, Fraser Williamson, Jamie Lee Myers, Israel Garzon, Bartos Rukiewicz, Calder Gonzalez, Gomez, Charles Pirard, and Arcades Newman. And yeah, that was all the drivers in the LMP2 field. And then behind that was in the GTEs was Paul Kolik beats Florian Dino with Dimitrios Houdoulidis rounding out the podium places. Behind that was Josh Thompson, the pole sitter, and then it was Andre Melchers, Gulas mate, Mikhail Lamoureux, Paul Sminek, Nicholas Dekuni, Vincent Herbert, Peter Berger, Aidan Campbell, Andy Perez, Danilo Fonseca, Hugo Prieto, Mikel Gade, Phil Cazanas, and Marcus Dead, rounding out all the finishers out there today. We'll have time for a couple of interviews, but well, currently no one is waiting. So, you know, this was all a little bit last minute, so I imagine some of the drivers don't even know that they've been on YouTube for this one.
Yeah,
but
we can give it
drivers...
a few moments. We got some requests to see the lap 1 incident. I'm just trying to find it right now.
Yeah, of course, any drivers who are maybe watching this back, do feel welcome.
This was LMP1, but I don't think this was the turn 1.
Was there a turn 1 incident? I remember it all being quite clean.
It might have been just second. I remember there was an incident and I promised to show it.
I think it may have been
who was involved.
lap 2?
Possibly.
Think... Oh dear. Well, I think it may have been Ringrose involved, but I'm not quite sure. Hopefully we'll be able to find it. Oh, by the way, we have got a couple of interviewees. Unfortunately, one of them has a name which, well, I wouldn't usually invite him up to the commentary booth to have a chat with, I must say. So we'll try to get that changed. But we can have a chat with Josh Thompson, who finished 4th, 5th. No, where did you finish? 4th. Well done. 4th place in the GTEs. So from pole position, just take us through what happened in those opening laps, because he seemed a little bit of time.
4 slowdowns in 4 laps.
Right.
So I got 1 on lap. I was like, the first lap I was cautious, fair enough. Lap 2, just turned in just too much and got 1 on the right. And it's like 2.2 seconds. Before, you could be able to serve it flat out and then lift off into the next chicane. This time you actually have to slow down for it. So obviously you lost so much time then. Next lap did it on the left of the first chicane, so we got another 2.2. Then the next lap, well, the next lap did it in the second chicane over the curb. And then I got another one like 2-3 laps later when Harrison came past. He was blinking all over and I just saw a massive smoke screen, just locked up, went straight on. So dropped like 10, 11 seconds in slowdowns in the first 5, 6, 7 laps of the race.
Yeah, that must have been pretty frustrating. But you had a nice battle with Hudaludis for the most part. In the end, he just got ahead. Did he just have a little bit more pace out there?
No, I decided to write my car off.
Ah, right. Okay.
Lap 30 through Ascari on the curb on the left just took way too much and the car just flew off the ground and it just destroyed all the front end. If you look at the pace, like, I went from doing 44s, like mids, to 47s, 48s, like 4 seconds slower. So obviously at that point there was no point fighting it. Damage was done. I was just trying too hard. Like, I made so many silly mistakes, and obviously the traffic didn't help because half of them were brainless for some reason coming through dive bombing. So obviously trying to make the time up, obviously got the gap down to Pavel, I think it's like 2.5 seconds from being that far behind, and just turned a little bit too early and just did that, and obviously there goes your race. At that point I would just bring it home, try and somehow salvage a decent-ish result.
Yeah, 4th place. I imagine won't be too harsh to your iRacing. I imagine you're still getting
+2. It's okay.
+2. Okay, not 2. Are you practicing for anything at the moment? Have you got any kind of big series that you're currently training for in this car?
Oh, World GT. 3 Qs
okay.
next week, and I'm using the Ferrari next season.
And it's around Monza.
That's why I'm. Well, it depends. The pre-Q is random, isn't it? It's 4 tracks. It's Spa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watkins and Road America. The car was I wanted to go over Ford, but it just wasn't fast enough at Road America and Watkins. So I was throwing myself in the deep end with that. So did quite a lot with the Ferrari at Le Mans. Felt quite comfortable with the car, and it's the closest thing to me driver-wise to the Ford. So I hate the BMW, as we've established. So there was not really many options.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't get an automatic place, I must say, seeing that you've won probably 20-odd races in that series. But
I don't want to even go over last season. I won that many races and had that many poles and still...
Yeah, six consecutive poles, I seem to remember. But
I think 6 or 7.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Still, you finished like 6th or something in the championship. Certainly nothing to be ashamed by. Next week we head to Interlagos.
Yeah.
Good track for the Ferrari?
Yeah, I assume so. From when we were well, obviously last time I was there was for the Pro Series qualifications, and obviously we were in the Porsche. The Ferrari was quite good, but it had a real big drop off in tyre wear because of the track temp that time when we were there. That time of year with what it was SARS. So we'll have to see. If it's really, really hot, I doubt I'll use the Ferrari. But if it's similar to this, I might give it a go and see how it is. If it's somewhat competitive, I'll run it. If not, I'll probably end up being in like the Porsche or whatever's OP at that track.
Well, the start time for that race is 8:35 in the morning, so it might not be too bad.
It might not be too bad, but it'll probably get quite bad towards the end.
Yes.
But Interlagos is one of those freak tracks with a cloud cover and stuff. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's been great to chat with you today, Josh. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, so thank you to you guys actually for getting the series broadcast again. Obviously missed a bit of last season because of it, and it's just nice to have this series because obviously it's so popular and a lot of people wanted it. Mavano, everyone there, just massive thanks to those guys, and Craig Setup Shop for providing the setup for this race.
Well, thanks, Josh, and I'm sure we'll see you very soon on ApexRacingTV.
Cheers.
I think that will be it in terms of our interviews. Of course, any Jazz who are watching this back, perhaps, do feel welcome to join our Discord. We might, I don't know if there's some kind of link. I'm sure a lot of Jazz are already parts of the Discord, but of course, if ever you get to the end of the race, feel like having an interview, but you don't have the link, just, ask us and we'll certainly post it in the YouTube chat.
Let me just see if I can post it right now. Well, you know what, I will post it on the forum thread in the iRacing forums.
Yes.
I will also post the updated information about the schedule and the time slot that we will be doing, so check that out after the race. I will get it updated, and also I believe we have the link in there where you can fill out your team information, so if you are part of a team, we can also show that information on the overlay.
Yeah, you can even add a photo of yourself.
Oh yeah, we got that new feature as well.
Yeah, well, we had Josh Thompson's face on the stream just a few seconds ago, of course. So yeah, that'll be very good. Of course, none of you will be as good looking as Josh, I'm sure, but can certainly rival him, perhaps. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with this series. Tomorrow, again, we've got the Year of the 8th season review. We've also got Sim Racers Asia. Might have Sim Racers Asia tomorrow afternoon as well. And on Monday, we'll have the Masters. On Tuesday evening, we'll also have more Masters. On Wednesday evening, we'll have the Sim Racers World GT Series. And on Thursday, we might or might not have the BSRTC Pro Series as well.
I mean, aren't you the BSRTC organizer?
Yes.
Yes. So you should know.
I'm already planning next season's calendar. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm 6 months in the future. That's me. Anyway, thank you for watching, and for me and Sam, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.